What is going on? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I seriously appreciate you tuning in today. We are back here in my 2007 Nissan 350z HR, and as you saw from the title of today's video, we're going to be going over something that every single car guy and car girl should know: how to fix your headlights so they look brand spanking new. Like, these things are going to look like ice cubes at the end of this video, and I cannot wait to show you my process and how I do it. And it's pretty simple, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go over all the material and I'm going to show you how I do it, and it doesn't take too long either. I'd say you could probably finish this entire thing in about 2 hours of just consistent work. So let's get into it. All right, so here we are, got the 07 350z and all of its glory. This thing needs some body work. I mean, look at this. We need clear coat, probably some more paint, and then a little bit of body work on these bacon fenders. But today we're focusing on the headlights. Check it out. It looks like we're crying right now. I've already done the sanding. I'm gonna put all that footage right here in a second. I'm gonna show you guys the entire process, all the different grits that I use, and you should be able to just go to Walmart and buy all of this stuff, which is pretty sweet. So I'm gonna play that footage right now, and then we're gonna clear these headlights. All right, so I'm gonna just voice over this entire part because there was some loud music playing and it was hard for me to explain what I was doing while I was doing all this. But here I actually start with 600 grit sandpaper, and I hit both of these headlights for a few minutes. I'd say about 5 minutes max. You wanna go until you get all of the brown or kind of like the orange tint off of the headlights. This 600 grit sandpaper is going to be the roughest sandpaper, so think of it like grip tape on a skateboard. The lower your grit is, the more rough it's going to be. So 80 grit sandpaper is basically like gravel just stuck to paper, and then like 3000 or 2000 grit is so fine it almost feels smooth. So we're hitting it with 600 first. I feel like it's a perfect middle point between being too rough and too smooth. Then you're definitely going to want to hit it with some higher grit after this. Next we hit both headlights with 1000, and then we go 1500, and then I finish it off with 2000 grit sandpaper. Make sure you're using water. I like to wet a rag and keep it above the sandpaper, and then consistently squeeze the rag so the water's running onto the sandpaper. And then very last but not least, we're going to hit it with this pad, and it's actually a 3000 grit pad, and I'm telling you, you could sleep on this pad. It's that soft. It does not feel like any type of grit whatsoever, but there is grit on it, and it's 3000, and it's super fine, and it's going to take away all those scratches from the 2000 grit sandpaper, and it should be pretty much ready after this. So honestly, this is all it takes. I was able to sand both of these headlights in about 20 minutes. I'd say I spent 4 to 5 minutes with each grit: 600, 1000, 1500, 2000, and then the pad of 3000. Make sure you tape all the way around the headlight so you don't mess up any of the paint around the headlight, and then you should be good to go for the next step. All right, so that is how you sand the headlights of the car. Honestly, super easy. It took me about 30 minutes to do both headlights, and it's gonna look way better once it's done. So kind of like the best 30 minutes you can spend. But right now we're gonna drive it over to the paint booth. They're gonna spray some clear coat on there. We're gonna be using shop line clear coat, but honestly, any clear coat is gonna work. You can get canned clear coat, and it works just like this clear coat is going to. We just have a paint gun that is gonna be spraying it, but you can go to any paint store, even O'Reilly Auto Parts, and a lot of places nowadays have sprayable clear coat out of a can, and it works just the same. So right now we're driving the car over to the shop. We're gonna pull it right outside the paint booth because there's something inside there right now, but I'm just gonna get this in here so we can get the headlights. I figured we didn't need to actually go all the way into the paint booth just because it's just 2 headlights. So here we are. I mean, they already look 10 times better, so sweet. All right, so now we've actually driven the 350Z over to the paint booth side of TSM Collision. Paco is actually over here. He is the coolest guy ever. He does all the final prep work and all the last minute things right before the cars are sent into the paint booth. And he actually recommended to take the tape off that we had used to sand the headlights and apply new tape. And so when we go to paint with the clear coat, they come out the best that they can. So here is just a few shots of me taking the tape off and then reapplying new painter's tape. It only took me about 5 minutes to do this. And it was nice to do because I noticed some of the tape that we had added previously from the sanding had some rips and tears just from the aggressive sanding on the edges. So right now, actually, while I'm taping up these headlights, Renee is actually inside the paint booth spraying clear on a whole bunch of different body panels for different cars that are in the process as well. So because the paint booth is occupied right now, I'm adding these strips of paper to the sides just to collect some of the overspray. And as I was doing this, Renee actually got finished with what he was doing, and he had a little bit of clear left in his gun. So before I could finish up, he had already come over and started spraying the clear coat on the headlights, and he's such a professional, I was not too worried. And the whole car needs to be repainted anyway, so any like excess clear coat or overspray does not bother me whatsoever. But we were able to get most of it covered with paper anyway, so. But check out these headlights. They look brand spanking new, which is absolutely insane. I think headlights really make a car look brand new, and I feel like a lot of aftermarket headlights you can buy, the bulbs just look cheap for some reason. I do not know what it is. I think it's like that really cool white color, that ice white. I just feel like it doesn't look the most high quality, and I love OEM things. I just love things that are OEM, and these headlights look so good from factory when you can see inside of them. And doing this, it took seriously 30 minutes to do this entire process. This is a must to spend, you know, an afternoon to do, because every time you see the front of the car after you do it, you constantly find yourself saying like, I can't believe I didn't do that sooner. So it's definitely something I would recommend. All right, we pulled it around. Headlights are on. Let's check it out. Oh man. Oh my gosh, look at that. I mean, it's crystal clear now. They look like ice cubes, literal ice cubes. Now I just need to wash the car and get all these tears off of here. It looks like it was crying, but man. All right, it's the next day. I just went and washed the car at the car wash. Look at these headlights. I mean, it's just, they look so freaking good now. I noticed this little bulb right there is actually burned out. This side is not. You know, that's actually something I wouldn't even have realized unless I cleaned the headlights, because I just could not see inside of there. So awesome. I feel like clean headlights make the car look so much newer. Now I can focus on getting the thing painted, and the headlights, I won't have to worry about them at all. But I mean, they just turned out so good. I just threw a little wax coating on there with some Meguiar's. Jeez. Highly recommend. Take the 30 minutes, especially if you have a 350Z. These cars are due for a headlight restoration. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. Go out and do this on your 350Z. I highly recommend. It is so worth it. You have ice cubes on the front of your car now. I mean, you can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. Anyways, thank you once again. Hit the subscribe button down below if you're new to the channel. I post videos like this all the time. Drop a thumbs up on this video and drop a comment down below if you have any questions. I would love to answer all your questions. Anyways, thank you once again so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.